Avi, you invested over 4 years in making this one story. This changes everything. Why did you do it?
Well, you know, when Naomi sort of connected the dots for me on this subject and said, look, the climate crisis, we have to stop looking away. As journalists who are responsible for engaging with the big subjects of our time, we can't say this is someone else's problem, this is going to happen later. This is the big one. And it's being driven by the economic logic of our time, by the logic of endless consumption on a finite planet. And that's actually a hopeful recognition, because once you connect this existential crisis facing humanity with the very economic system that rules our world, we already know that this system created the crisis of 2008, and since 2008, we know that the system disproportionately benefits a very small slice of humanity, the 1% at the top. So we already know our economic system needs to be fairer. It needs to be more in balance with nature. It needs to be more in balance with our values, of what we value as human beings and what we care about. And so fixing the economy is going to fix the climate crisis. They're the same solutions for both crises. And when she sort of put it all together for me like that, I was like, okay, this is the fight of our lives. This is the last big one. We double down on this. This is all that matters.
You did this together with your wife, Naomi Klein, and lived together, worked together, lobbied together. What has been the most difficult part?
Well, so it's hard not to get hopeless when you really engage with this subject, and when you're two people engaging on this very difficult subject together, you know, you have to be careful that both people don't get depressed at the same time. But I think that hope is a choice, and I think that despair is an indulgence that we don't have time for. And so I'm not a quotes person. Like, I don't like email quotes. I'll just go right out there with it. I can't stand it. But for the first time in my life, I printed out a quote and put it over my desk while I was working on this. It's from the great philosopher, farmer, poet Wendell Berry, whom you know. Mm-hmm. And he says, "Be joyful, though you have considered all the facts." And I had that printed out over my desk over the last 4 or 5 years. And I think that an optimistic and hopeful spirit is both justified and necessary in engaging with this most difficult of issues. And I really do feel very, very hopeful. But on any given day, it's kind of which side of the bed you wake up on, right?